It's obviously we finish each other's
sandwiches. Yeah.
Oh wow, that's really cute.
Yeah, that's what I was.
Kind of been a resurgence of interest in this case. We've seen it done in a Lifetime movie, a bunch of documentaries. What makes this version different?
I've never seen any of the other ones, so I don't know. I have to tell you the truth, I don't know. That I do know, though, that I, as a viewer back in the day when it was happening, I had a specific idea of what it was that happened, and I sort of put it away in my brain. And then after doing, learning as much as I have about it now, it's hardly even recognizable as the case I was witnessing on court TV or whatever it was back in the 90s.
Well, I guess with every case it's something different, but I think that it's a mixture of two kids that kill their parents and then someone who seems to have a perfect life having a really dark underbelly and having a lot of terrible things going on. I mean, maybe that's the same with the OJ story, because he sort of seemed to be on top of the world as this massive celebrity, but underneath it all there's all this, drama, and I feel like the Menendez family, to anyone from the outside, would have thought these people are an American success story.
The one thing that they didn't talk about much at this time was abuse. And I think it really brings to the forefront just the importance of family. As strange as it is, as far removed as this is from the Bravermans, at its heart, it's about the absence of really loving role models. I think that's relevant. I think the more we discuss, the boundaries, the responsibilities of parents, and shine light on, abuse and people who have been abused, I think the closer we get to truth, and I think that's a good thing.
What are you excited to bring to her that we're going to see, that because people might not be familiar with her from all the other interpretations we've seen of the case?
Well, her role was that she basically went to the police with the information that there was a taped confession of the brothers that they killed their parents. So without her, there's a good chance that they would not be in jail and that they would not be convicted for this crime.
This is definitely not Parenthood.
It's
just a little bit different.
Kind of the furthest thing from Parenthood, isn't it?
What made you want to say yes to this project?
It's not Parenthood.
True.
It's nice to. Yeah, I know. I miss it too. It's nice to play a character that doesn't say everything that's on his mind, and kind of keeps things close to the chest, and also to be a part of this great cast, to work with Dick Wolf, who has a pretty good track record, and that it's something comfortable to us. People love to watch Law and Order. My family loves to sit down and in 1 hour feel like they've gotten somewhere. That's a really reassuring feeling, and to be a part of telling that story in a new way, I couldn't say no.
Did you guys do a lot of research? Obviously, there's a lot out there about the case, so I'm sure you guys were
Yeah.
Yeah,
so
as
much.
much as we could. A lot of court footage and documentaries and books. There's a lot of writing on them, and the scripts also. And talking to our producers, Renee, is a wealth of knowledge about the case. He's clearly been
they're encyclopedias.
Since it happened.
Yeah.
So there was a lot out there for us to look at.
Did you find something out that was shocking or surprising? You think fans are going to be surprised to find out about the brothers?
Yeah, go ahead.
Anybody who had preconceptions of them based on the media frenzy around the case in the 90s will probably be very surprised by this, to see what kind of information never really saw the light of day in the media, or was just swept under the rug because there was a bigger prevailing narrative about them being spoiled rich kids.
You're so smart.
I know.
Seriously, though. Yeah.
Well, that there are so many things involved in the outcome of a trial that have nothing to do with the case. And I found that very upsetting. That people should keep an open mind when listening to stories, that there's motivation behind all kinds of things that we don't know. Things happen for reasons that are not explained to us, and information is left out for reasons we don't understand. Anyway, the whole thing really just woke me up to to keep an open mind in general.
And when you get into a case like this, there's so many strange nuances that you're like, well, if they wrote this, nobody'd believe it. And, strange things like they were looking for the guns that the boys used to murder their parents, and they couldn't find them. They searched the hills where they were supposed to have been found, And they didn't find those 2 guns, but they found 90 other guns just spread amongst the hills. And to add to that, what made it even stranger is that they had the Boy Scouts of America help them try to find the guns. So the Boy Scouts actually ended up finding 90 different weapons, but not the murder weapons. It's the little things like that where you're like, this won't even show up on air, but it's, the small details are so fascinating to me about a case this big.
So a lot of this rests on your chemistry. So how did you two build that? Was that right off the bat? Did you have to bond?
Still trying to build it. It's just not. It's really
so tough with this
taxing.
guy,
Yeah,
you know,
it's really.
Secretly, we hate each other right now.
Really, I
such a
can't
pain.
talk first. You're just gonna jump in and. Thank you.
Say what you want, man.
It's really.
Sorry. We're wasting your time with
It's
this.
kind of. I have 2 questions and we're
know.
wasting. No, I'm so sorry.
Yeah, it was right away. It was right away.
It was immediate.
You know,
Yeah. No, see, look, we.
Each other's sentences.
I know it's obviously we finish each other's
Sandwiches. Yeah.
Oh wow, that's really cute.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
No, I think it was pretty. From the audition process on, he was cast before me, and I got to come in and read with him and have that be, I think, a huge part of the casting process and the decision-making process for bringing me on board. And I'm really fortunate. I mean, because if I would audition with someone who they cast and he's just some like dud or not kind or open or talented, whatever, all the things that you want in a castmate.
He's underselling himself so
no,
much.
but seriously,
it's
like,
insane.
if I came in,
regardless
it probably would.
Yeah, but
no,
but
no.
But
He makes
the fact that
you.
we had a lot of chemistry really helped.
He makes me better, like 1,000 times better, and better. And so it continues to evolve, and I think it's a lifelong bond and friendship. That's just what it feels like. So I think we're really fortunate to take on such a daunting project and have each other.
Why would you tell people to tune in?
Because there's so much more here than met the eye back in the day. And there are 2 very alive people in jail right now. As we speak, they're doing something in a jail somewhere based on what happened all those years ago. And just look at it and imagine you don't really know what happened and see if you can listen.
Everybody thinks we were this perfect family, but we were a disaster.
They bought watches, clothes, stereos.
Maybe this is how the rich grieve.
Don't just wake up one morning and turn into Charlie Manson.
Please forgive us.